Hello and welcome back to more Football Manager 2019 with me, Mr. Grand 2, and episode 63 of Monaco here at the start of Season 6. And as ever, we will be starting things off today with the Trophy des Champions once again against PSG, this time taking place in the Sun Life Stadium in Miami. Very nice indeed. But before we do that, we're going to go through the transfers and, well, it's been a very, very frustrating summer. That's definitely the word I would use, and it's to be expected, really, given the incredibly frustrating season that we had last year. So to recap then, if you're new to the save as well, things have gone pretty well so far in our 5 seasons here in Monaco, despite having the intense rivalry we do with PSG. PSG have spent well over £1 billion in the save so far. We are rich, but we're not that rich. And last year was, it was alright. We won the Coupe de la Ligue, beating Saint Etienne 2-0. That was the third time we've won that trophy in the save. Everything else, though, was slightly less successful. And it was frustrating, really, because it was a case of sort of so near and yet so far. We came, I guess you'd say, either second, third or fourth in every other competition. So having previously won the Ligue 1 title 4 years in a row, including going unbeaten the season before last, we didn't win the league for the first time, losing to PSG by 8 points in the end. The last game didn't really count because it was already over by that point. Other than that, we lost both games against PSG. That is what really cost us. One of the defeat as well to Marseille, and then that last game was against Bordeaux, which, as I said, was a dead rubber, so it doesn't really count. We also drew 3 matches against weaker teams such as Nîmes, which we really should have been beating, and those ended up costing us 8 points was the difference in the end. PSG did play incredibly well. They only lost 2 games all season and 2 draws for them. And it was a similar situation in the Cups as well. We got trashed by PSG in the Trophy des Champions at the start of the season. Our Champions League campaign was going so well. We got all the way to the semi-finals, but we did lose 3-2 on aggregate to Manchester City. Very unfortunate there. And we lost the Coupe de France final. We haven't won the Coupe de France at any point in the save. We haven't won the Champions League either, but you'd maybe expect us to have won the Coupe de France by this point. We haven't, losing 2-1 to PSG again. The second year in a row that's happened. Very frustrating circumstances as well. We equalised late on and then just immediately let them go and score. Equally frustrating, really, with the French national side. We lost the UEFA Nations League final 3-2 to Germany. Pretty much identical situation. We equalised late on and then immediately, this one was literally immediately from kickoff, they just went and scored again, which is incredibly frustrating. We also lost in the World Cup semi-final. Very unfortunate. We lost the third place playoff on penalties as well, which really sums up the luck we had last year. So with all that in mind, have I gone away and spent lots of money and brought in some new fantastic players to really improve the team? Well, not really, not massively. As I say, it's been very frustrating. I had some targets in mind. They didn't join, they didn't want to join, or we couldn't afford them. There's a lot of players that I'd like to sign, but they also just don't exist. I don't know what it is about the sort of the situation that we're in with France. I don't know what's causing it, whether it's the leagues that are loaded, but there seems to be a real dearth of regens, and not just quality regens, just regens generally, which is potentially going to affect things going forwards, but we'll have to wait and see. So no major departures really. I've sold a few of the youth players. Obviously Renato Sanchez was already going to leave. We only really signed him to make money on him. I've sold a few other players as well. I've sold Jonathan Panzo as well for a bit of money to Watford. We've sold a few regens like Miguel and Ibrahim Even. We've also sold Arman Gerlach as well. A few other good prospects have gone out on loan. Enrique Garcia, Paulinho, who we've just brought in on a free. Hanno Massanego, I was really worried about his development stifling. He's gone on loan to Benfica for the season. Similar thing for Jack Clark. I did try and sell Jack Clark, but no one was interested. A few other youth players going out on loan. But other than that, nothing really particularly interesting. Everyone else is still kicking about the place. And then the ins is really lacking in excitement as well. Obviously, these guys we've all brought in on frees. We already knew about that. We discussed it before. Some pretty big names here. Let's not pretend otherwise. But Dani Ceballos, Tanguy and Ndombele are going to be playing a pretty big part in the first team squad. We've got a lot of midfielders, so that could maybe be an issue. But I think These guys can certainly help us out. Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. He's not developed that well really in the game, but he has Ghanaian citizenship as well, which means we don't have to worry about registering him in a foreign player slot, which is nice. Paulinho we've loaned out just because I don't want to have to register him at the moment. Claudio Gomez has gone out on loan as well. I bought in David Ospina on a free just because I wanted a backup goalkeeper. No real other reason for that. He's not very good. He's only going to be here for a year, I think, before he retires. Now, we signed Amin Ghouri, obviously an exciting wonder kid from Lyon. Really highly recommended by our scouts, but I think it was an outdated scout report. He's not that great. Attributes-wise, I think he looks really great, but he's not particularly great in terms of star rating. But he was transfer listed for nearly just over 500,000, so I thought it was worth getting in anyway. This guy, Mikhail Novotny, is a Czech goalkeeper. Maybe he's the new Petr Cech, I don't know. He looks pretty solid. Got him in for a pretty cheap price at 2.5 million. And then the only real player that we've signed who's going to be involved in the first team for any money this season is Alvaro Odriozola from Real Madrid for £17.5 million. Pretty good deal, actually. He wasn't transfer listed. We just got him for pretty good cheap. He's only 27 years old, Spanish right back. He's going to provide competition for Sidibe and Henriks, who are both still here. I think we are going to give Henriks a go from the start of the season. If it doesn't work out, then we'll bring in Odriozola. Sidibe's still here. No one was interested in buying him, and he wasn't interested in leaving. So we might as well just keep him as fifth choice for this season and avoid a dressing room revolt of some kind. But otherwise, that is that. There just was. I still wanted to sign a new backup left back. There wasn't one of any real note that wouldn't have cost us huge amounts of money. We could have signed Ben Chilwell. The transfer window is still open. We could still make some signings. I just don't think we will. I don't want to spend 30 million on a backup left back. That doesn't seem particularly sensible. Obviously, we talked about buying a new striker. There isn't really anyone particularly better than what we've got. Pietro Pellegri's still here. He is unhappy because we didn't let him go to PSG on the cheap, or we wanted too much money for him. He's wanted by Spurs, Bayern Munich, Milan and Juventus, but we're interested to see if they make a bid for him. I'm a little bit concerned because his contract is up in 2 years, so if he does get unhappy, he might want to leave on a free. Hopefully, we can get him to stop being moaning Myrtle and he will sign a new contract, and that'll be really nice. If not, then we'll probably have to sell him next summer, and it'll probably be a lot less than what PSG offered us, but we'll have to wait and see. The only other position that I was really looking at potentially improving, if you look at our first team, is goalkeeper with Alban Lafont. He's only 24, he is French, which is really good, but he's kind of reached his potential already. He looks really good in terms of attributes, and he is really good. He's, pretty consistent, but he kind of lets us down a little bit in big games. There were some games last year that we really did lose, I think, because of some poor goalkeeping. So the obvious candidate to replace Lafont would be Gianluigi Donnarumma, and we did have a bid accepted for him, £59 million. It would have been all of our transfer budget, but well worth doing. A fantastic goalkeeper, absolutely brilliant player to bring in. Unfortunately, he didn't want to talk to us, wasn't interested in talking to us at all, said we're not a big enough club, refused to even entertain the possibility of an offer. He has moved, though. He has left AC Milan, and you can probably guess where he's gone to. Well, that was pretty obvious, wasn't it? Apparently, they're a bigger club than us, despite the fact that we've won 4 league titles out of 5. They've only just won 1. The furthest they've ever got in the Champions League is the semi-final, which we did last year. We got to a final before that as well. Why they count as a bigger club, I do not know. Why they are considered to be so much of a bigger club than us that he wouldn't even talk to us, I find quite offensive. But we have also got a lot of young players coming through, Basile Allard and Valmir, really, as well, who sort of ended up usurping Yuri Tielemans towards the end of last season, given that the Belgian had an injury, and I think he's going to carry on starting for us ahead of Tielemans. Just looks really solid. He just looks really, really solid, doesn't he? And he's already got 3.5 stars, still got huge amounts of potential. Going to be interesting to see how well he plays this season. So PSG, interestingly, they've actually sold some players. They're actually having to balance the books a little bit. Valentin Lazaro, they've sold Shigankov as well, Nicholas Stark, but a flash in the checkbook. Donnarumma, of course, as we've seen. They've also signed Jan Pronk. From Dortmund, the first big money regen, 73 million for him, and he is pretty good. Lit up the youth championships. So it's fair to say PSG have had they've had the advantage over us for quite a while now. Since we lost the Coupe de France final the season before last, they've kind of beaten us every single time we've played them, except for in the Coupe de la Ligue semi-final last season where we only managed to beat them on penalties, but they've beaten us every time in the League, 2 Coupe de France finals, and in the Trophy des Champions as well. So can we get some revenge? Can we win this competition once again? We've had some good success in it. And can we just start off the season in a good way? This is the team I'd like to play. Obviously, Lozano is injured, but I think he's going to be our first choice on the left-hand side when he does come back from injury. I've not been impressed by Keita Balde. He's still here, obviously, but he's not been that great. He's going to have to start this one, but we're going to put Basile Allard, one of our young regens, on the bench just in case. I do envisage him getting quite a lot of football this season. So Lafont is going to be in goal. I don't envisage replacing him again this summer because we've missed out on Donnarumma, but going forwards, if we can find a really good regen, then that might be something we look to do. Ferland Mendy still at left back, although Benjamin Henrichs is finally going to be starting the season as our first choice right back. We did try that before. I think it was last year actually, wasn't it? And it ended up going very, very wrong. So we'll see. We'll see if he's improved in any way. De Ligt and Martinez, of course, are going to be the centre back partnership. Balde, as we've said, on the left-hand side with the main man, Robert Skov, on that right-hand side. Frank Kessie and Valmeer are going to be starting in the midfield with Yuri Tielemans on the bench. Hossein Aouar is going to be in attacking midfield, and Patrick Schick is going to get the nod up front after his fine end to the season, and with Pietro Pellegrini still sulking on the bench. So a typically terrifying lineup from PSG. Mbappe starting up front. They are playing Jan Pronk. They've got another regen at left-back. How does he look? I think his name's Diawara, yeah, Ben Diawara. I mean, he looks good. Not great. Not great, you have to say. Otherwise, I mean, Pogba, Milinkovic-Savic, Neves, Neymar, Donnarumma, Marquinhos, Koulibaly. It's a frightening team, isn't it? It really is. I'm not going to tell them to get revenge because that never works. They just end up losing. Go out there and try not to embarrass yourselves this time. That would be good. Can we, if we're going to lose, can we please not lose by either a massive scoreline or like make me think that we're not going to lose and then throw it away at the last minute? That'd be good. Anyway, Balde robs Pronk and we take the lead. The main questionable selection for us, Keita Balde, only starting because Herving Lozano is injured, robs one of their new signings right from kickoff, runs down the touchline, and it's a simple tap-in for Patrick Schick, as simple a goal as you can hope for. Not many Monaco fans been able to come out to America. Obviously, that's another thing. That's another theme of the save. We don't really have many fans, although we are getting a new stadium, of course. Something to look forward to, although it's not going to be for 2 years. But we are getting ourselves a new stadium. Balde on the ball again. I slagged him off. He's got himself another assist. And Patrick Schick has got himself another goal. Absolutely fantastic. While Pietro Pellegrini sulks on the bench and while Herving Lozano's injured, Keita Balde's grabbed this opportunity. And well, I can't not start him going forwards, even when Lozano is back if he keeps up this form. And another fantastic finish from Patrick Schick. Is he finally going to have a season where he gets himself more than 15 goals? He's only done that once as well. That was why we were looking at maybe getting a new striker. We haven't had a goal scorer who can consistently get anywhere close to 20 goals. Schick managed it just about once, but that's it. Otherwise, we haven't managed to do it. Long ball over top to Mbappe. And Lafont makes the save. This is going very, very well. I'm kind of shocked. Corner in from PSG. And another fantastic save from Lafont. Robert Skov running clear though. Can he get himself an assist? He can. Patrick Schick's on a hat-trick. Plays it into Hossein Aouar. And from PSG's corner, we break. And on the counter, we are able to score. Robert Skov with a fantastic interception and run. Plays it into Patrick Schick, who puts it on a plate for Hossein Aouar. Gets himself an assist this time. And a fantastic assist from Schick. And a fantastic goal from Aouar. I'm running out of breath. There's so much action in this game, but we're 3-0 up. We are trashing PSG after over a year of them consistently trashing us. Well, going into the second half with a commanding lead, it's fair to say we were pretty unlucky at times last season. We've been pretty unlucky against PSG, not taking our chances while they take all of theirs. But the tables have been turned. The tables have been flipped on their heads. And we are 3-0 up and going very, very nicely here. Tables have been flipped on their heads. That's not really an expression, is it? I'm sort of amalgamating a few there. Anyway, I don't care. No highlights in the second half so far. Hopefully it can stay that way. As soon as I say that, Milinkovic-Savic whips a shot over the bar. And that is it. An extremely uneventful second half. and I do not care one tiny bit. We've won the Trophy des Champions once again, and we have trashed PSG so many times in recent years, certainly last year, that we've played them and been completely outclassed. Well, finally, the shoe is on the other foot. That's an expression that makes sense. We've got the win, a blistering start to the game. 2 goals from Patrick Schick already, and 1 from Hossein Aouar as well. Absolutely fantastic. So regarding that season then, I mean, we're going to go through quite a few games to start things off, and then we'll come back next time for the Champions League. Probably this game. I don't know who we're going to get. We're not going to be in the top seeded pot anymore because we didn't win the league, of course, so that can make it even more difficult than it already is. But this and the Lyon game look quite good. Hopefully we'll have a whole card of wins since then, or at least no in between then, or at least no defeats. That would be really good. And then I think the PSG game is coming up as well with another Champions League match. Looks like a good place to go to as well. But it's going to be an interesting season. We've got to reclaim our league title. Can we finally break our curse in the Coupe de France and in the Champions League? That would be nice. I'd settle for one of them, really. But we'll have to see how things go. Reclaiming the league has got to be our priority, hasn't it? I'll let you know if there's any more transfer business next time. I don't envisage there being any unless someone comes in with an insane bid for Pellegrini. I don't expect to really make any more signings unless a magic goalkeeper becomes available. But I think Lafont played really well there, so it'd be a bit harsh to replace him anytime soon. So that's going to be the end of the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you're excited for the new season, or maybe you are impressed by our transfers. I'm not impressed by our transfers, but who knows, you might be. Leave a like if you're definitely pleased that we've finally beaten PSG once again. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I will see you next time.